New Vulcan ball, game 1.
So
Time in.
here we go. Thrilled to have you guys with us. Meghan Dizon gets us started. Let's play pickleball. Oh, just firing away are the ladies to get us underway.
I mean, honestly, are these 4 of the hardest hitting girls on tour? I think we're going to see, you know, 20, 30 points exactly like that. These girls have no fear going hard.
Point.
Yeah, and as Meghan and AL Dub join together and get chemistry, they're nowhere near how good they're going to be at the end of the year.
No, we're only, you know, what is it, 4 or 5 weeks into the partnership.
Side out.
Plenty more to go. Again, they've spent some time in Florida training together.
0-2-1.
The team itself spends a lot of time off court, a lot of time practicing. So this is still you know, the beginning third of their season.
And I mentioned the purveyor of power. There it is. Just hits that flamingo and just ropes it.
She hits it harder than me. I'm not even afraid to admit that.
Oh, way harder than me and harder than you is agreed.
I have a story about that I'm going to tell later.
Okay.
Or right now, I don't know.
Football, right foot.
Wow.
Side out.
So you almost never see a football call on a counter, but Viv just shuffled her feet a little bit.
I think she was too excited to uncork that one, right? She read it perfectly. She was almost too excited about it. That's going to be the strength there, right? Chicago, both ladies 5'9" and up, 5'10". Tons of reach, right? Glozman does it as well as anyone. She's reaching in there and put pressure on
2-0-2
right there. So well done.
Side out.
Wow, and AL goes with the drop. This has been Drive City. It's like, is it bike week here at Daytona? That's all I've seen.
That was a fun one to watch last match for sure. And Anna Leigh, I don't know why she never misses a third against me, but
just wide. So Callie sends it through the middle. So here's what I want to see. Is it Callie on the left the whole time, or is it straight up? And it will be Callie on the left. Okay.
1-2-1.
Yeah, no doubt they're going to feel that out though over the season. I mean, Viv is seasoned on both sides.
Second serve.
But I like that both teams are pulling off the bounce already, right? It's almost like, let's see whose hands are really better here, because it's kind of, we don't know.
Wow, that catch is not of the head from Dizon. We're tied at 2.
2-2-2.
The one Glozman saw earlier and smashes that down, and the slice have jumped in front.
No foot fault on that one. You're right. It's the exact same ball coming through the middle, sitting on it with a huge tui, and putting it in the right spot. That helps too.
What an absolute missile down the line. Great solve from Anna Leigh.
Just saw Anna Leigh hit a backspin backhand dink. Does that ever happen?
Only under the worst of circumstances. Now a lob, and that got messy all of a sudden.
Yeah, a little lucky off the tape, but kudos to Anna Leigh recognizing this, right, making a quick move on it and not stepping. Now she might have, but she reestablished.
Second serve.
Big swing and a miss from Waters there.
Yeah, she's been mixing up the drive and the drop early. I think she's trying to figure out what she wants to do there. Again, this is a team that we haven't seen, Viv and Callie, so.
And that's some great pressure from Glozman. You can't teach size.
No.
3-2-1. Second serve.
So Dizon keeps sending it through the middle. That worked out better for him.
Yeah, good little 1-2, ends up on Annalie's paddle. Usually when that happens, you win the point.
Yeah.
3-2-2.
Always let her do the cleanup in the middle. It's a great strategy.
And awkward resets, but they're still in it. Not anymore. So great pressure from the slice ladies, and they're up 2.
I'm telling you, I mean, the fives ladies, you could say might have the best hard game in the sport, but I love Chicago kind of daring them, say, hey, we think we might have, you know, be a step ahead.
Saw a glance at Leigh Waters concerned. That time, Dizon brings it all the way back across and catches Glozman sitting with the 2E in the middle.
Yeah, super smart. I mean, really good recognition. Couple points. She's that Viv's been covering the middle. Always smart to go outside of your opponent to cross court. Glozman sprays it wide.
Oh my.
Point.
And there's the classic Glozman pirouette and cover the mouth. Actually, we have 2 pirouetters here because Dizon does that as well.
Occasionally, definitely, yeah.
3-4-1.
Viv was on top of that. It's almost like she wanted to finish it, but fives with great defense.
Sending it through the middle is definitely on the strategy board.
Point.
Anna Leigh, wow. Super smart shot, right? She has such control of pace and location. It's really the best that I've seen, like men or women. So it's so frustrating to play against. She gets Glozman to miss time, and she knew it was out. That was even more impressive. She knew it was out before it even landed.
Returns have been going to Anna Leigh here.
A little shimmy from Anna Leigh, 2 in a row.
Second
There's
serve.
the pace of the counters from Callie Jo when she hits it.
I had the pleasure of playing a full year of mixed with her. That's a fun thing to have on your right side. Her power, I'll tell you what.
4-4-2.
Backside of the paddle save. What a play from Callie. And there's that just never say die. And she gets so many balls back in play.
Yeah, great defender, like you said.
4-4-1.
One of the fittest on tour. Really prioritizes working out, staying in shape.
Second serve.
But then did not commit to that.
No.
You wish you could say the same.
I wish I could say the same. I've been starting, you know.
Yes.
4-4-2.
I've had a good little 3-week run.
Yeah, looking good up here, AJ.
You know, yeah. It's the black. It's slimming.
Anna Leigh tries to slide that one up the line as well, and well wide. Good lead from Glozman, and the slice have a chance to switch with a 2-point lead if they can grab this rally. Wow,
Point.
layup just clanked off the rim there by
Take our opponent lightly sometimes, and I think that's all that happens. So they will learn from it, and hopefully it sparks a run from them.
Side out.
Bad dink pop-up from Anna Leigh, and here's the point differential. Fives are plus 100.
That's decent.
We heard the flash are well over plus 250.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. 100 is not decent.
Yeah, I mean, 100,
How pedestrian.
100 is good.
How pedestrian. No, I'm joking. The Flash have just been on a tear.
Anna Leigh gets it on the ground. Here comes the fireworks.
Point.
And the fives grab that one. The slice point differential, meanwhile, minus 43. And when you're 3-8. That is a part of it. However, they've played a lot of the top teams, and they just made the trade for Glozman. So this is a team you would have liked to have seen in the schedule earlier in the year, not later.
For sure. And again, this whole year for the Slice, I mean, coming up from Challenger, there's really been no advantages given for those teams. So this team this year can kind of be one of no expectation, right?
Lob from Dizon. It's perfect. Just misses the roof on the get from Callie. Oh my. Glozman. That shows how disconnected they are, because Glozman went in and Callie stayed back, and that's never a good look.
Yeah, that was a little unique, right? Not a recommended strategy, but great D. Just they've got a little too excited on the last one.
Point.
So a couple of errors. We'll see if a timeout is forthcoming or not.
Yeah, talking about a couple things here, right? Just a quick reset. Whose ball is that, right? That middle ball, whenever you got a new partnership, is always the hardest one to figure out. So no doubt the fives are going to try and attack that more. And I'd love to see him attack Vivienne's right hip, right? When it goes hands, I'd love him to see go outside of her on her backhand. Jesus.
Great get from Dizon, and she's there too. And then absolutely unloads, but Callie meets it.
Wow. I was about ready to give a fist pump on that counter, but Callie was just sitting on it. Smart reset from Leigh there from her shoelace.
Look at these ladies clear their body and protect on these counters.
There's so much nuance in there, right? None of them are overcommitting, right? When you're fooled and sometimes you overcommit, you're just spraying balls out. But the way that they stayed compact the entire time, right? You saw how controlled that point was, even though it was fast. Save that point, honestly. Somebody needs to do a tutorial on that point.
6-7-1.
So the five sneak in front on a couple of miscues, but then two great points played by Chicago. Look at that reach. That's impressive.
Point.
They're getting more comfortable now, aren't they, right?
And it is 7-up. What a refreshing score here.
7-7-1.
Have I heard that one? That's incredible. Or have you been sitting on that?
It's definitely new. Welcome.
Second serve.
Little bag on the foot there. Again, that's the spot I'd love to see him target more. Coming cross court, because you know Viv's sitting hard with a two-hander in the middle. Get outside her on her right hip, low on her right hip is kind of an awkward way to hit a two-handed backhand, which is how she's kind of setting up for every hard ball. You don't see that very often. Again.
And timeout called by the fives. And wow, missed return coming out of the timeout. Not what they had in mind.
9-7-2. Side out.
Just wide, get jammed up a little bit there, AJ.
Yeah, great spot from Leigh. Again, that was the spot we just talked about 2 points before, and I'm a little upset. I thought we were going to get 8-8, and I would get a famous snowman in person from Dave Fleming.
Yeah, but they got to 9, and now the Clowns have gotten to 8, and their head counter and cheerleader, Ryan Harwood, family engagement this weekend, so is not here to get them riled up.
Yeah, it really is. This team is so. Jesus, Leigh.
Wow, and then a soft miss from Glozman. We are tied at 9.
I don't know how a girl that's 5'8" can make herself so big on a court.
Gosh.
That was ridiculous.
And that sign was amazing from a
What'd he
fan.
say?
Big deal, you can count to 5.
Touche.
Tremendous.
Touche, fans. But yeah, Harvard, this team is such an energetic team.
Yes.
Like I was saying,
Yes.
that they really thrive on that family atmosphere, the energy.
9-9-1.
So I think it does matter not having their leader here.
Can they get a stop? Wow, through the middle
Point.
from Glozman, and Callie wears it. And we are at game point
Timeout,
for
Chicago
the
Slice,
5's
10-9-1.
timeout slice.
I'm
As
in.
they look back at this
10-9-1.
match, is that going to end up being the difference?
Yeah, maybe. But again, I think I like it from Chicago. A little bravado. A little bravado, saying, "Hey,
Second
we're not
serve.
Right.
scared of you, right?
No.
We think, we can hang, especially in the hard game." So.
And they're showing they can. Second try to close it out. And obviously, Meghan Dizon's a
10-9-2.
great player, too. So you're not just hitting.
Right.
Oh my, after
Point
beautiful
game, 9,
defense,
New Jersey
Glozman
5.
sends it into the middle of the net, and the 5's ladies survive 11-9. They trailed 9-8.
Game
The
2, time in.
Vanderwich has come out and
0-0-2.
play really well. Haven't seen that yet. Let's play pickleball.
Side out.
Navratil goes to the bounce tattoo parlor, which you don't go to very often.
Not often.
0-0-1.
James can do that though,
Yes,
right? He can put it in the turf really quick and get it up on the body.
Look at that reach in. I mean, you want to talk about smooth. This cat right here just is. Lefties just look smoother anyway for me.
Yeah. He's chill. I
1-0-1.
super high pedigree from tennis. It's probably been mentioned he's had a win over Ben Shelton a number of times, but has come along really fast, and he's really good already.
Point.
So good he can do that, Dave.
Yeah, and what happened? I mean, rarely do you see a pro player just not even react there.
Yeah, Zane could have just been wrong-footed, right?
Yeah.
And just, once you know you're beat, sometimes you just know.
2-0-1.
Don't go lunging forward and turn this into a catastrophe of knocking the net over.
Right.
Second serve.
Howells sends it through the middle. And you actually get 2 serves over there, Slice. So they gave the ball back, but Jim Price is going to actually award them that second serve here. See if Jimmy's going after a serve today or not. Nope, that's 50%.
Yeah, all weekend he's kind of been just laying it in there. We played him yesterday. Could be the slower conditions. He feels like he's not getting enough no matter what, even if he goes hard, he's not getting enough on it.
And mirror images on the tuies there, and it's Ignatowich through the middle, 3-0 Slice.
Yeah, it's really nice. I think James should do that more, honestly. I mean, he has that two-handed roll, and it can disguise super well, right? He rarely misses that cross-court dink, but a little off-pace pull to the middle. I think he has that in there. I just think he needs to do it more. Freeman leaning heavy.
Yes.
He looks like he's just about to, just salivating for a ball he can speed up.
So Howells instead says, I see you all over that R in Torrey. I'm sending it down the line.
Yeah, that's one of Howells' best shot that I've seen. I mean, we don't get to see a lot of them, unfortunately, but that two-way up the line is really confusing. We don't see it on the PPA Tour, like I said. Freeman's really got to get his second hand on there and put it cross-court.
Second serve.
That was wild. Navratil tried to go behind the back.
Did he?
You got Howells back there, dude.
0-3-2.
It's early in the match, we farm a couple highlight clips.
Yeah.
And
That's
Side
an
out.
ugly possession for the fives right there.
Definitely, but we saw Will, I think, the first day of Daytona. Is today day 2?
3-0-1.
Today's day 3.
Today's day 3.
But you've only played for 2 days because
that's where I got messed up.
Yeah.
But he was really abusing his opponents with that two-handed speed
Second
up down the line, right? And again, Maxey just
3-0-2.
chasing it with that one-hander is not going to get it done. So hopefully he recognizes that. That's better. Two hands.
And just cracks it back. 4-0 slice. And what a serve by Freeman to start that.
Yeah, he's got a little look in his eye right now. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Because we played him yesterday, and they didn't look like this. We fell barely, you know, Mr. Madonia 11-9 to this team, but I like what they're putting out there right now. Maybe it's the center court. Maybe they know you're commentating, Dave. That could be that.
And look at that through the middle, and the Chicago slice lead is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0.
That's well done.
Timeout, New Jersey 5.
Compliments from the booth.
Yeah, and that is the question. Like, we know you boys are super talented. Can you get it all the way to 11?
Right. That's sometimes what separates the. Separates a 5-0 from a pro, or separates a round of 16 from a finalist sometimes.
So they get the stop out of the timeout.
0-5-1. Point.
Jimmy can't get the second punch down.
Yeah, he's got a new paddle. He's starting to use it. He finally got switched to a 16 mil carbon fiber. So the punch is actually, the technique is a little bit different than his old Power Air. I wonder if it's, he's still trying to figure that out. And again, when Howells lines this up, we don't, a lot of us don't have the book on Howells' two-hander. So I think when he winds that up, I would love to see the Chicago just step off the line a little bit, play an easy ball.
Point.
Again, I think that was super awkward. I think Jimmy's still trying to find the form behind his backhand punch.
3-5-1.
All of a sudden, 3-5.
Yeah, no. And drive I'd love Jimmy to take, and he doesn't, and what a nightmare here. Yeah, they had a look at 6-zip and switch it.
You got to get out the door sometimes. That switch is huge,
4,
right?
5,
when you get stuck on 5 and then you allow your opponent to come back. Those little inflection points are a big deal.
Second serve.
Nice calm paddle there. Jimmy had one to tee off on, just laid it in the kitchen. Okay.
Yeah, he's a little bit rattled right now, a little bit not trusting his shots.
Oh my, and just like that, curls a beauty into the corner. I think that was good.
First look, it looked good.
You called it out.
Obviously, we have the worst vantage point.
After review, the out call is overturned. The ball was in. Lost a free challenge, 2 remaining. 3 free challenges remaining. Resume play at side out. 5-4-1.
Heck of a stash on the guy in green there behind Jim. Just point that out.
Oh, we love anyone with good flow or get that
good buzzy.
5-4-1.
Get that all set. All right. So can they at least switch with a 2-point lead? Faking into the middle. What a save on both sides. And then Ignatowich sends the next one and punches his paddle after that.
That one just a little bit too low. He was a little too frisky, right? The first one was nice, but that one's a little ambitious.
And pretty deep behind the kitchen line. Great shot, and that's what you have to do now in the pro game. Hit the overheads, not hard, but deep and hard.
Absolutely, yeah. And angles, too. I mean, angle, you start to realize how important angles
4-5-1.
are. And down in Florida, this is not easy to put away.
Second serve.
Resets his feet and sends it at Navratil, who can't clear his body.
4-5-2. Point.
This return from Freeman, and after looking so good at 4 and 5 nothing, it is now tied up. That ball's going to hit the video board, but not if it hits Jimmy first. 1,500 points on the line as a cup. It is going to be spectacular. Can't wait to call that one.
Side out.
So they get the ball back on just a nothing dink, but found a right foot.
Yeah, sometimes it's that simple, right? I think you're going to see these points slow down a lot, at least from Chicago's perspective. Let's elongate these points. We've given up way too many free errors on fourth balls and just some other junk.
Point. And Jimmy jumps out of the way and then shoots a look back at Zane.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of have a fun
6-6-1.
banter, little brotherhood there. Didn't say anything, but both of them obviously.
Second serve.
Howells just reloads the Tui and sends it again.
Yeah, no, both of them are locked
6-6-2.
in. It's a great 1-2. Body and then outside.
Side out.
And zero apology from Navratil, and
they're locked in, like we said, right? They're not here to joke around.
No.
Usually you get that from those two.
I mean, clowns usually are joking around, but not that guy right there.
No.
6-6-1.
Again, not after the loss either the other night. Like they're out for blood the rest of the way.
Second serve.
And that's one of the things, you don't see a lot of lefties with a great flick like that. That was something Freeman, like, he walked in and he had that. I don't know how. There's only 2 guys really that are elite at that, Augie Guh and Max Freeman with the lefty flick. So good to see him break that out.
Jimmy that opportunity, and it's going to be over in less than 2 swings of his paddle.
Yeah, always had a lot of effortless power, does James. Again, simple points. Wait for your spot. Both of them have great attacks out of the air. Sometimes it might seem a little bit boring, but you just got to play that high percentage ball.
Serve.
Some wild finds in the middle of that just to prolong it, but
6-6-2.
Zane stays away and then lets it go. Off the tape and past Freeman, and they just can't get anything going on offense.
No, a couple loose errors to end the first side change, and then just not getting the bounces right now.
6-6-1.
Unfortunate.
Second miss return from Freeman.
Not happy with that paddle. It's always the paddle.
It's always the paddle or the ball or the court.
I've never missed a shot in my life. It was the paddle.
Stupid paddle. Wow, Jimmy thought he missed his return. And then he sends it past Navratil, a little slide off the tape but stayed in.
Yeah, I'd love to see him take that risk again. I mean, he's really owning that matchup right now.
Wow, Freeman almost was the third.
That's what I thought he did. But again, be patient. Just wait for that attackable ball.
Wow. Freeman pulls the paddle back thinking that's got to go deep, but the conditions plus the underspin keep that in.
Yeah, just a little lack of experience, I think. I mean, Freeman, in 8 months, Freeman's going to recognize that ball's thing. And
timeout Chicago slice, 8-6-2.
That's one of the hardest, which is, again, I mean, simple stuff, right? But just.
This is going to be fun.
Point.
Zane just sends it right back where it came from off the miss hit from Freeman. Now 9-6. And this is a 9-1 run for the Fives.
9-6-2.
This is shocking, really.
Side out.
All right, miss serve. Can they find something here?
6-9-1.
Oh God, I would start uncorking the drive maybe from Freeman.
Second
Well,
serve.
it was uncorked, but it was wine that had absolutely gone bad there.
I'm glad you found it. I knew you were going to find something there. No, Freeman's got a great drive. You got to make your opponent hit the fourth sometimes.
A little curler on the run from Navratil.
Yeah, smart play. Felt Freeman creeping in the middle.
9-6-1.
Getting outside that lefty is huge.
Second serve.
Lines up. That was full cross-court send to Jimmy. It would have been fun to see what happened.
Yeah, he might have had it.
9-6-2.
There was no disguise, let's put it that way.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be sometimes.
No. And Jimmy throws his arms up in the air. There's two forehands there. Neither of them really went for it.
Yeah, as much as these guys know each other, I'm a little surprised that they haven't quite figured that out. But well done by Will. I think James just has to get it away from when someone's attacking you and coming in. They're doing that kind of blitzkrieg. You just got to bump it away from them in the end.
Game point for the fives. And that is deep, and that is an 11-1 rampage. It's just the pizza just, we didn't bring it out of the oven in time. Let's play pickleball. Unbelievable get from Zane.
He's got wheels.
Side out.
And we saw that piece on the fives, and you don't think that's huge. Look at the teams that don't have a lot of support here versus the ones that do. I mean, you're about to go have the most fun you've ever had playing, and they mean it.
Yeah, there is a stark difference in ownership sometimes, right? Some people investing in their teams tremendously. The fives are definitely leading the way, along with the shock and the flash. And I mean, it shows up on the court, right? The teams at the top of the standings all have owners that are heavily involved, taking care of the players, making amazing 5-minute or whatever, 1-minute promo videos, right? That was adorable. It shows up, and the Chicago Slice, honestly.
Oh man, Max had that. Yeah, Ron Saslow and their group is a great group as well, and they, as you said at the beginning of this match, made a decision to invest some, as they couldn't bring any of their players up.
Yeah, no, cleaned house, entirely new team from last year.
Second serve.
This year, again, you get to go in with no expectations, but next year, I think they're going to put even more in, right? The Saslows are committed.
0-1-2.
Slice are going to be a team to reckon with.
And Max Freeman needs to figure out his footwork on his return.
Yeah.
It just can't happen.
It just feels like too much tennis, right? He's hitting it like a tennis racket, and it just feels a little awkward right now.
Oh, that's one of those where you're pretty darn sure it's wide, and then as you watch the ball slow down, you're like, oh no, this is going to catch.
Anything can happen, yeah.
1-1-1.
And I actually love this partnership. Callie gets to play on her familiar left side. Max has all the foot speed to be able to cover
2-1-1.
and play that strong middle.
Absolutely. No, he's been playing some really good mix. Callie loves the left. Even when we played, sometimes, even though I'm a right-hander, right, we would reverse stack sometimes because Callie she is really solid on the left. She has a little forehand pancake that
yes, that you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, it just kind of throws you off a little bit.
Side out.
Yeah, Max just, the highlights are great, but that's nowhere near going over.
Yeah, hard to explain. I think he needs a longer paddle. Can I just say that?
You're allowed to say whatever you want.
He's using the 16x8, right? A lot of us use the 16.5 by 7.5 because it gives it that extra reach. Being as high level of a tennis player, I would go with a longer paddle. Just it's just more of a, it's at least a little bit closer to what he's used to, right?
Wow.
Point.
Freeman needed, and beyond the size of the paddle, he needed a shield there as he got tagged.
No, it happens to all of us. No, as we always say, though, a body bag hurts more emotionally than it does physically.
100%.
Strong meaning from Zane. You don't see that very often, right? Seeing a high ball, recognize it, and coming in with the big forehand.
Last year with the fives run, it
3,
was
2, 1.
Zane playing with Mari Humberg that was so
Second serve.
critical to them making the run to the top of the standings and what that set up for him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a huge win at the midseason, right? He and Mari took out the Johnsons,
exactly.
Georgia and Jada.
3, 2, 2.
That propelled them to the midseason title. Zane not known as like a super high-level mixed player, but again, he's a veteran. He's got all the tools. He can do it, and
he just wins Major League Pickleball.
And he just does it, right? He finds a way. And this team, I think, getting momentum. They had a big win over Eric Onsens and Tina Pisnick in Austin. So they're starting to roll. I think that was a huge momentum builder. You see the energy. They're vibing right now.
Yeah, the difference in energy on this court right now is wild.
No, the fives are not going to blow another 2 lead. If there was a, you know,
you can just period.
I don't want to
you don't
talk about wagering. I know we're not allowed to talk about that, whatever. But that was a 0% chance of that happening. Probably not over yet, obviously.
Side out.
No, because the Freeman level can rise. I actually like the way Callie's playing today.
2-5-1.
Yeah.
Joining the moving train here.
No, she's played well. I think, where was she? Mexico? That's pretty.
Do not know. Just know there was a scheduling challenge. What a move by Dizon. Wow, and then just get that ball in the dirt.
Sometimes that's the move. But yeah, again, we saw Max with that, you know, kind of that tiger look in his eyes, something with that in the beginning of the men's. He needs to find that back. I thought he had it there, but they just. Great D from the fives.
Carvey drop, and that
Right out.
Hurricane Tyra Black-esque here, who has just perfected that shot.
She does love that, huh? A little angle, slice angle. I've been watching that.
5-2-1.
Oh boy. Not only does Zane put it back in play, he takes off and then cheeks to the middle. What a shot from Max Freeman.
Yeah, good sustained offense again, Max. He has all the tools, right? He just has to put it together and stay focused for a full game.
5-2-2.
What a move from Meghan Dizon on the prowl with the two-y, and end of Major League Pickleball's playoffs mirror what's been going on in the NHL.
Side out.
Is it a thing to be too early?
Yes, it is. You see foul balls in baseball a lot. That's
true.
100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Second serve.
Yeah, I just see
2-6-2.
nothing happening over there on the slice bench. Goes for the dropper. Callie's there easily, and then Meghan just destroys it a foot wide and is telling herself to settle down.
Yeah, again,
3-6-2.
don't take your foot off the gas here. Same type of deal. Up 2-0, up easy in the third game. Have to lock in. Every point counts. Every game counts.
And that goes wide, and here come the slice. Couple of mistakes. And sometimes that's all it takes, because this is not 2 out of 3 where you can just work through something. It's 1-11 sprint.
No, that's definitely lends to the underdog. Definitely lends to more comebacks.
And Max Freeman is on the
Point.
prowl, and here comes
Timeout,
a
New Jersey,
timeout
5,
called
5-6-2.
by the captain. The
Time in,
fives, and
5-6-2.
then lengthy chat with Max and Callie. Let's see if they can tie it up here.
Side out.
That's all. Maybe that's all they need. Big side out there right out of the timeout.
Yeah.
First point out of a timeout is always huge.
6-5-1.
And Carlos Delora, of course, coaching up his slice teammates.
Pickalitos, as they call him.
Second
Just
serve.
easy power.
Yeah. No, Max Freeman possesses, like his buddy James,
6-5-2.
really effortless power. That's usually a great sign of how high a player can go. He's figured out his return now.
Side out.
And he has that shot.
I mean, you watch the last two, you're like, that's the best player I've ever seen.
So sometimes, I mean, really, it's
the ceiling is high and the floor is low.
5-6-1.
That's the problem.
there's not a lot of players that when I've walked by a court, I've had to stop and say, who the heck is that? I could tell you the 3 players that it's happened before. You want to know?
Of course I do.
Max is one of them.
Okay.
2 other ladies.
Okay.
Lacey
5-6-2.
Schneeman, Etta Wright.
Okay. And
Etta Tui Anatoa.
she was probably at a right when you
Side
walked
out.
by the court.
Yes, saw her dinking 3 years ago, just dinking at Club Pickleball USA in Utah. I said, who is that? You could see it
6-5-1.
instantly. And Schneeman, you saw her hands. She was playing 5-0 tournaments in Phoenix. Lucky that court there. But not to get away from this match, but
No,
sometimes you just see it, right?
7-5-1.
There's a talent level that you just know how high they can rise, and all 3 of the players have become really established pros.
Now Callie sneaks her paddle in there at the last second, and this lack of cohesion and just lack of being, like, just having a practice before you play. They did not have it with who was here. Glozman just
8-5-1.
traded in this week.
Yeah.
This team will get better.
A lot of moving parts. Like we said, I think by the end of the year, they will catch an upset that will make you go,
Second serve.
that'll raise the eyebrows, right? They're going to beat one of those teams. Maybe not Dallas or St. Louis, right? That's a tall order, but they could easily beat the
8-5-2.
fives, easily beat Squeeze, Ranchers, Columbus. Those are the other top teams, I would say.
Mad Drops would like you to mention them since
Mad
they had a
Drops.
great win earlier.
That's true.
Look at that. Freeman get off the ground, but we're still going. Oh my. What chaos.
I love it. More.
And sent deep from Callie after a bonkers ATP block, and then he hits it straight down into the kitchen, and we're still going.
Yeah, just need a little more angle on that. I mean, I thought it was going out. You either leave it or put some more angle on it. And kudos to both players settling down.
Yeah.
I think that was the right ball to speed up from Callie. Again, not a
9-5-2.
overexcited mistake, just missed it.
Big swing from Freeman. He's frustrated, and the fives are sitting on not just game point, but match point.
10-5-2.
And good night.
Point.
Shake
Game
it,
11-5, New
bake
Jersey,
it,
5.
and take the pizza out of the oven and eat it at the circus.
Dominated the firefights. Glozman had a
0-0-2.
really good match against SoCal. Let's see if she brings it here.
And let's play pickleball.
Point.
Yeah, and Howells and Annalie Waters want to go. I don't know what happened Thursday, and with all due, I mean, Elise Jones and Connor Garnett were terrific
For sure.
in that match. So
Yeah.
take nothing away from them. But this is a
1-0-2.
team that was favored there.
No, I think they're out for a vengeance the rest of the weekend. I will probably be playing
Point.
this team tomorrow
Good luck,
on Grandstand. If you want to come, essentially watch prime Mike Tyson fight a 12-year-old.
2-0-2.
Is what our match.
You can be Buster Douglas. You can be Buster Douglas.
It's a teenage Buster Douglas. I don't know.
Side out.
But we'll have some fun. I'm just going to lob Annalie and see what happens.
Not a shock.
0-2-1.
Good start for the fives here. Whoops. Not sure what that was.
Second serve.
Will had like 4 fun options with that ball.
Yeah, well, it was so high, he could have literally walked around and just like
hit a forehand.
Yeah, hit a forehand. Taking 5 steps to get there.
Tough little series for Glozman there.
2-0-1. Point.
Yeah, I like to I like to see the chatter between James and Viv right now. Like they're at least in it, right? And we talk about it all the time. The playoff race. Chicago could be a team in that 9 to 12 spot, right? It's going to come down to game differential. They could possibly steal one here.
Serve.
Wow, look at Anna-Leigh Waters playing with her food here. What is this?
3-0-2.
Like I said, the 4th game after a 3-0, that's when everyone brings out the party tricks.
Side out.
Now Howells tries to just hit a short angle rope.
Yeah. Now they'll have some fun with this. Try and catch, you know,
0-3-1.
Catch maybe a highlight or 2 to add to the
add to the reel.
Add to the reel, of course, right?
Point.
We all need those. But at the same time, I don't see them letting up too much like they did on Thursday. Howells flow looking.
Oh, beautiful. I mean,
that
lettuce,
exquisite right now.
That lettuce is exquisite coming out of the back. There should be a hockey helmet on his head.
I'm actually jealous. I can't do that anymore. When I was 20, maybe, but.
Beautiful angle for Howells
serve.
there, yeah. That's lettuce for days right there.
1-3-2.
Well done to his hairstylist.
Side out. Three, 1-1. I'll recall. 3-1-1. Point.
I mean, the freebie factory is working double shifts here for the slice, and you do not want that.
4-1-1.
Just so many misses.
If I'm Delore, I'm having a little serve and return session tomorrow. Just really loose stuff.
Point. Five, 1-1.
Switch or no, there was a long discussion, and the answer is no here. Okay.
Worth a shot at this point. I mean, nothing seems to be working for Chicago.
Point. Timeout change in. 6-1-1.
There were
Time
opportunities. The ladies
6-1-1.
were up for the slice, and the fellas were up 5-0. But ever since that, it's been all circus all the time. And it's good.
It's too good. You know, there's that viral trend going around: who would win 100 gorillas, or what was it, one man or 100 gorillas? Oh, I can't even talk.
It was 100 guys against one guy is going to lose to 100 gorillas.
That's what it is. I'm saying the question should be one gorilla against one pissed off Anna-Leigh Waters, because I think that loss from Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night, the gorilla would have been in big trouble.
That's what I'm saying.
7-1-2.
I know where I'm putting my money. But I'm saying I still think that's sitting with her, with them, with this team.
Side out.
Side out. So let's see if there's one last big push here from Ignatowich and Glozman.
1-7-1.
There's the pirouette of sadness from Glozman.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, she possesses so much power. Sometimes it's the
1-7-2.
Gosh, I don't even know how to say this. You have such a gift that you want to use it.
Point.
You know, you're too excited to use it, type of thing. Sometimes the right answer is just taking a little off, playing with a little more nuance.
2-7-2.
And that's what Viv's trying to work on in her game at this point in her career, I think.
Point.
Because when she gets to extend those levers,
Yes.
it is absolutely tough to deal with.
It comes back hard as heck. I played her in mixed in Phoenix, and I lost. We had a heck of a battle, but yeah, it's just cleaning up a couple of those loose errors. But when the right time to use all that power,
3-7-2.
she does it as good as anyone.
Yep.
Side out.
But there's just zero momentum for this squad here. They got a nice point from Glozman and then a soft air. You need to compound. Compound interest is fun.
For sure, for sure. I think that'll be a theme for the slice going forward, because I felt like both of these,
7-3-1.
especially the gender games, were winnable,
Right there.
right?
Oh, yeah.
They're right there. So I still maintain that they're going to be a playoff team.
Love to take from Jimmy.
Just sailed
It was discombobulated a little because Viv was still, I'm not blaming Viv for the miss, but it's just not smooth.
8-3-1.
Not smooth yet. No, not at all. But like we said, still great chance to make the playoffs. Top 10 get in. Still a great chance to cast an upset at some point this season.
Second serve.
And then if they're like the 10, but they've started to get it figured out at the end,
That's a
then
dangerous
that's
10,
a nightmare.
right? Yeah.
With the talent.
That's a
that
very
they have.
dangerous
8-2.
10. Like we said, there's still a lot of season left. We're not even halfway through.
Wow.
Points.
It's little stuff. That's all it is.
Yeah, and this is a lot of pressure on Glozman this week. Just got traded in here.
Timeout,
Didn't
Chicago
even know
Slash,
she was
9-2.
coming here.
Right.
Because
9-3-2. Point.
wow. Ignatowich couldn't come up with that one. 5-hole, and we are at game point. The match already secured, but this would be the
10-3-2.
4-0 whitewash.
I'm thinking lob here. Let's walk it off with a third shot lob, please.
You're not going to get your wrist. Oh,
At least a fun point.
it was a fun point, and she was in great position to make that, but did not. All right, ball back to the slice.
I
3-10-1.
thought it was going to land.
Wow, Jimmy jumped out of his shoes hitting that serve. I mean, this is why.
Point.
Where's that been?
It's there, right? I mean,
Yes.
he can play a little bit looser now. You're down match point. You're
Right.
down 3-0.
Play
it's-
loose at
it's-
0-0-2.
Yeah, it's just about getting loose, and I think
Look at that serve.
yeah.
Point.
Now when he plays like this, using that power game, that's when he's at his best. And so, yeah, just I mean, I think the team will have, part of it is just finding how do you get the
5-10-1.
best out of your players,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
how do you get him to play this loose in every point?
Point.
There's the menace.
Timeout, New
and
Jersey 5.
Just a couple
6-10-1.
loose. Again, everything was real loose, but we like the late push here.
There's your lob, and it is
I love it.
beautiful. What a shot from Glozman, and there are smiles in the Windy City, and they're within 3, and the concerned looks are on the other side. No one thought that would be the case.
7-10-1.
A little bit, still a lot of breathing room, 7-10, but they are on the 1.
What a serve. Oh,
Second
man.
serve.
That is a tough return, and Anna Leigh barking.
No, she's
7-10-2.
refocused, I'm going to say. I think that timeout they had a talk. Stop messing around.
Oh my, running
Side
to
out.
cover the middle after an elevated dink, and the net betrays our game point 2 for the Fives. And lengthy discussion about how we're going to try and close this out here.
10-7-1.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. Draw up a
Yeah,
play, right?
absolutely. Lob serve. get from Glozman. And there's the highlight
Point
reel
in,
walk-off. Show the lettuce to everybody, the full head of hair, and let's take all 3 standings points. Welcome back, everybody, to MLP Daytona Beach. The New Jersey Fives, clean sweep of the slice. They win all 4 matches, and Captain Zane and Anna-Leigh Waters are standing by. Guys, congrats on the win. Anna-Leigh, I'll start with you, and I want to go back a couple days. You guys show up in your home state playing in Daytona and got upset by Utah, and then in a quirk in the schedule, you had Friday off. What did you do? How did you sort of reconcile the outcome of that first one?
Yeah, for sure. I think the main thing was, even though we had a day off, like not forgetting about the loss, because I feel like other teams who had lost went right out and played, and they had no time to think about anything but the loss. So I think Zane was just kind of hyping us up, reminding us of Thursday, and I think that really helped today. We had 2 4-0s, so I think we were really focused, and it was definitely a good learning lesson on Thursday, especially for Will and I. We need to close out matches. So we had a couple talks about that, some team meetings. Personally, I didn't play pickleball yesterday. I was just kind of I need a day off, and I think that helped me today coming through. But yeah, I think it's just talking with the team, going over things, what worked, what didn't. On Thursday, some things didn't work, so we were just trying to problem solve and fix it, and Zane did an amazing job as team captain to kind of get us together, sit down, and talk about some things maybe we wouldn't want to talk about without Zane. So thank you, Zane.
Yeah, Zane, speaking of adjustments, you guys were down 0-5 in the men's match. We were kind of stunned by that. How did you guys kind of reconcile that? Any strategy changes? What turned all that around for you?
I mean, it's a game of runs, as we all know. Teams can get hot, especially a team like Max and James, good drives and quick hands, everything like that. So just not letting it bother us, making adjustments. I think we do a really good job of adjusting our game plan throughout a single game to 11, which isn't an easy thing to do. It's not a large time frame to even identify trends and make adjustments as a result of it, but it's necessary. So we buckled down, executed, and we were able to turn it around and get some good momentum there.
AL, you can't call plays like football in pickleball, but I did see, and you talked about closing out a match, you and Will, before the last rally there, had a little discussion. Take us inside. What was that all about?
Yeah, I just felt like against the Black Diamonds, Will and I just weren't talking in between points, especially the ones we were losing, and we were just kind of going back and forth and never collecting together as a team. And in this match, we were trying to do the total opposite of that and collect after every point, even if we won it. And I think we were doing a good job of kind of where are we going to hit this third, especially on match point. We were like, all right, where do we want to hit this third, or where do I want to return, or kind of plan out the point before it happens. Obviously, it's not going to happen every time. A couple of times, I was like, sorry, Will, I ended up driving the third instead of dropping it, because you can't plan if they hit a good return or not. But I just think having an idea of where your opponent's or your partner's going to hit it, and just kind of being connected in that sense, really helped us this match.
Well, it certainly did. 8-0 today for the Fives. They'll be back in action tomorrow. Congrats, you two, and good luck the rest of the way. So that will do it for a Saturday by the beach. Let's take a look at